Now, this plant is being attacked by a worm. Here's the tiny little worm. And you can see it eating its way across the leaf.
Oh, there it is. Ah, that's a worm.
That's a worm. And you can see what the worm is doing. Right?
Right.
So, what does this tell us? Well, a conventional farmer would come out here with a pesticide and spray poison on this plant. I just killed the worm, by the way. We're not doing that. What we're doing is taking this as a gift from nature so that we can learn which of our natural techniques and tools will control this kind of worm. And then we'll teach the farmers that we work with. And we take every one of these adversities as a teaching opportunity. This, by the way...
How can you take the worm out? Can you explain? Can you explain how you kill the worm? Or?
Well, for instance, the first thing we're going to do now that I see that we've got this pest is we're going to fertilize. And, oh, by the way, this kind of worm comes when the plant doesn't have enough water. Its immune system is weakened. So this greenhouse has not been watered today. We're going to water with more water than we've been using. And we're going to put seaweed extract. Seaweed extract, kelp extract, on the plants to give it more nourishment so that its immune system is stronger. And we'll watch and see whether that gets rid of the worms. If it doesn't, then we might spray soap mixed with an organic soap mixed with a natural oil like coconut oil, which is easily available here in Panama, which has no chemicals in it. We did that when we had white flies on our tomatoes. Farmers here fight the white flies on their tomatoes all the time. But the white flies, yes, they grow very fast and they grow enormous. There's a reason for that. By the way, this is my medicinal herbal experimental garden. And as you can see, we're not having any trouble growing anything. Well, and unfortunately, you cannot smell the beautiful smell that we have now from the basil.
Oh my God.
Isn't that amazing? Wouldn't you like to have pesto made with that? And we do. So, if you look at our watering source, you'll see that we have very powerful magnets strapped to the water line. Nothing touches the water, but this changes the physicochemical characteristics of the water, and we have growth like this in weeks.
Crazy.
These plants don't usually grow to this height.
What do you mean the water doesn't change nature? What?
I will explain. Water is composed, as we all know, of 2 hydrogens and an oxygen. Imagine that the place where my thumbs cross is the oxygen molecule, and the place where my fingernails are would be the hydrogen molecules of an H2O, the hydrogen atoms and the oxygen atom of an H2O molecule. Now, if I run this water through a very, very powerful magnetic field like that one, without putting anything into the water, what happens is that the bond angle opens, and now the hydrogens are further apart from one another, and there is more energy, physicochemical energy. This is not spiritual, this is not woo-woo, this is not make-believe, this is physical chemistry. There's more energy in the molecule. It can carry more nutrients. The plant has a wetter water molecule. The surface tension is lower, and so the plant uses less water. In the world, drought is a serious problem. If we can reduce water use by 20 to 50% without adding anything to the water or damaging the plants with magnets on the water lines, why wouldn't we do that?
You have a magnet. That green thing is a magnet.
This is 2 magnets, 2 very, very strong magnets. These are experimental magnets. We can help the plants to develop anywhere between 200 and 600% more crop, with anywhere between 200 and 600% more nutrient density.
For the magnets?
Oh, this is known, and this is we are experimenting with it here. But in addition to more nutrients, more crop, the crop doesn't spoil. It's so healthy that you don't lose your crop in your refrigerator or on the way to market. So what we're doing is talking about increasing the production of food with virtually no outlay of money and with zero chemicals. Zero chemicals. The only thing is you have to keep adding more good nutrients, more compost, more fertilizer, for instance, cow or chicken dung, to the soil, because the plants take so much nutrition out and put it into the fruits and vegetables that you have to make sure you're continuing to upgrade the soil. But an organic farmer does that. A biodynamic farmer does that. You never plant something without adding more than the last crop took out. That's part of improving the soil. Here's a tomato. Now this plant was dying. It had tiny, tiny, tiny little white parasites on the back called white flies. So the leaves all looked like this. So I decided that I didn't know how to cure white flies. I went to the internet, I looked it up, and I came up with something that made sense, and I developed a formula. This is these are the old leaves. This is what they used to look like. And I came out here and I sprayed it. I didn't work. This is an experimental field. And so what happened was that for one day